Hello and welcome to the weekly market roundup. This is the US edition. I'm Abdul Hamid, founder of pivotinvestor.com. It is Sunday, 17th of January. So we've got another big lineup for you today. Look at the broader market, the S&P 500, look at the chart, see if we can identify some key levels for the upcoming week and month. Then we'll have a look at the 5-day gainers and losers, and we'll wrap up by going to pivotinvestor.com and running a scan to see this week. We'll run a scan to see which stocks are crossing the previous year high and continuing the momentum potentially from the previous year. So first, let's have a look at the S&P 500 chart. Looking here at the daily chart, trend is very much still up here. I'm going to flick over to the weekly chart. As you can see from the weekly chart here, so these lines over here are the yearly pivot levels. So last week we had a really strong finish to the week, and this week looks like we didn't quite make it too high, just shy of 3 points with the S&P 500 from the previous week high. So we've developed an inside bar or day or period rather over here on the weekly chart. So could be a bullish sign there on the weekly chart, even though we did close a bit poorly. Still above the midpoint, however, previous week's midpoint there. So the way above that. So another positive sign over there. And coming back to the daily chart, you can see over here bit of a subdued week. We did get the close above the R1 previous month, the R1 monthly pivot there, got the close above it. Looks like it was heading towards the R2 pivot, didn't quite make it, failed to hold above the R1, and we saw price decline as we did on Friday. I do put the previous month's high, low and the midpoint over here. We can see here how price, although it did fall, it did retrace to the previous month's high, this blue line over here, from where we're looking like at the moment price is holding. And in addition to that, we are currently in this uptrending channel as well. So two touches there from where we've seen previous support. So potentially an area of support as well over here. So we'll keep an eye on that level. But if price fails to hold at 3759 over here, then potentially could go as deep as 3716 or to the previous month's mid price as 3695 before going back potentially up into this uptrending channel for another retest at 3799. But if it holds, could get another shot at 3799 with pushing up high to 3843. And then we'll take stock of price action should that price level get reached. Now over to the 5-day gainers and losers. So the gainers first, top 5 this week. IRIX, up almost 120% almost there with IRIX. CCIV, Churchill Capital, up 90%. Big moves there. NGA, Northern Genesis Acquisition Corporation, up almost 90%. TLRY, up 75% almost. And we've got AKTX Therapeutics above 55% there. We'll quickly have a look at the charts for those gainers over here. So starting with IRIX or IRIX, however you pronounce that. So we can see this week's just been a race. Price just initially retracing off the R2 pivot, but then pushing back through there and just continuing higher there. So the blue line again represents the previous month high. So it's just gapped up from there on volume. Huge volume there that day on volume, and then that followed through for the next few days over there. So that is IRIX. So we could see price continue higher or just back off a bit, maybe back to the $5 before continuing higher perhaps. So something to keep an eye on there. I'll just quickly look at the weekly chart. We've gone straight through what I normally call the danger zone, the R2 yearly pivot. So huge move. So 5.68, 5.5 is key level to watch. If we fail to hold above this price level, we could potentially go lower, perhaps to the previous year high there at around 420 before going back up again. So some key levels to potentially watch over there. CCIV, Churchill Capital, again just shot straight out of the, so if we look at the previous month there, got indications as it went as it went above the November high in December, it's meandering just above the high there, and then this month in January, price just drifting there between the previous month mid and the previous month high, finding support at the previous month mid there, and just breaking above. Easier to see in hindsight. It's a huge move up there. Huge move. There's not enough room on my screen for this one. So in terms of levels, I guess it's smashed all levels really. Looks like it was a recent September IPO there. So the high 1025 IPO has come in favor. So have to let a few more trading sessions and months perhaps on this one before we can get some further levels that we can keep an eye on for that one. NGA, still on the weekly chart here for now. NGA, another IPO back in October last year, and price just continues to move higher. In terms of the next level up we have is 38.71, which is the R4 pivot, currently priced at 33.5. And on a daily chart, you can see here again in the previous month we saw it breaking the high of the November high, trailing off and then coming back for a strong close to the previous month. And this month, the first trading session, we moved above the high of the previous month, and price is higher there, initially meeting some resistance at the R2 monthly pivot before closing higher, and it's continued from there. So some interim levels there. Next monthly level at least is $39. That's a target there, and price does come back, potentially back to here 26 for another opportunity to go up. Would be nice. We'll see how that develops. TLRY. So on this one we had some, again, not much going on in the previous month. Had this gap over here, but price really just stuck to the November midpoint over here. And this month started off at December's midpoint over here, climbing up towards the previous month high there, gapping up again, opening above R2, and then finally closing above R2 here, and then that momentum just continues through, breaking all of our monthly pivot levels. At least from a yearly perspective, we can see over here didn't close above previous year high. Previous year high is still at 22.86. So I imagine we'll get our shot at that. But the key level initially is above 20 to get a close above 20. Get a close above 20. Definitely see this testing last year's high at about 20, just shy of $23. Potentially then we have a yearly target at R2 at $31.70 as a target for TLRY. Should it get up and close above the $20 over there. So here now we have the low essentially of the IPO range over here with TLRY at $20. So you can see here how previously some form of resistance there. And again, 1, 2, price come again 3. So could potentially get some kind of temporary pullback perhaps before having another shot at that 20 level. But we'll see. We'll see how that sort of develops out. So definitely want to keep an eye on there. And then finally we have AKTX, Akari Therapeutics. Looking at the daily chart over here, again, previous month we had the break above the November high. It's trading comfortably above the high. This month came in just below the mid, then came above it, heading up towards the previous month high. Got our close, and then we've got the momentum to continue to R2, and now almost shy of R4 there at around $3 there. If I switch over to the weekly chart, you can see closed above the previous year high there at 280. See this very strong close into the week. Next pivot target above is $3.76. I've got a feeling it's going to get there pretty quickly. So we'll again monitor price action there. Now over to the losers for the last 5 days. We've got TLRY down almost 40% there. VIVE down almost 30%. Lantern Pharma down almost 25%. Medirom Healthcare 23% almost, and Cardlytics down 21.5%. We'll just quickly have a look at the charts there, because just when a stock is down doesn't necessarily mean it's down and out entirely. This one's a relatively new IPO. It's trading, still trying to find its price boundary there, and whether we get a distribution higher or lower, it's one to watch at the moment. Got a lower close this week, still above the S1 yearly pivot, but not enough trading history there. Something to take note. We've got earnings coming out in March, so could probably potentially see continued sideways action until there perhaps. If I flick over to the daily, then yeah, it's a bit of a chaotic December. Some orderly trading at least so far in this year, and currently sitting at the previous month low. So important level to watch. Previous area of support over here at $7 and all the way up to 15. So key level over here to watch. If it holds, definitely get a shot back up to potentially just shy of $12, potentially higher, but definitely a key level here at the moment. 7.7, just $7.50. One to watch again. VIVE, huge gap down there. There below the monthly S2 pivot line. Just go over here. Trading at an all-time low. Not great, not good, but yeah, we'll try and attempt to fill this gap or continue down, or wait and see. Did try to push above S2 but failed over here. could potentially go lower. 236 next level down for the month. Just have a quick look on the weekly chart for that one. And on the weekly, we have, yeah, doesn't look great. Doesn't look great. Okay, so next one is Lantern Pharma on the weekly chart. Have an indecisive start to the year, and then boom, had a high open to the week, and then it's taken out a few lows there to end up at the base of the what looks like a previous level of support there at around $14. So we'll continue to watch that potentially over here. Just want something to some levels there to watch over here. So ideally get a close above $18 again to confirm a bullish bias, but until it does, to keep an eye on. Over here we've come below the previous month low. If we get back in range again, back above 15.5, then we could get back into range towards $20, this range over here. But if we, as long as we stay above or below the previous month low, price may even go lower to $12.5 before coming back up again. Medirom, another IPO over here, still trying to find its feet initially, but it has broken down lower over here, lower than the previous month low. Next level, at least from a monthly perspective, is the S1 floor pivot at $12, and yearly pivot around $12. So $12 key price level there for potential support for Medirom. So it'll be interesting to see how price behaves should it get there. Cardlytics, daily chart, looking over here, huge fall this week, down through the mid and through the central pivot for the month, and the S1 pivot to rest here at the previous month low over here. So will it hold at this level? We're seeing a pullback on the price, perhaps. That's 113, 114 key level there. Let's switch over to the weekly chart on this one as well. It had a really strong finish to the previous year. Couldn't hold near the previous year high. We've seen some price retrace there. So trend still intact, really. Nothing to be alarmed about. The next level down, $107 to watch over there. Potentially the previous year high at around also 107. So 107 key level there for Cardlytics. Potential buying opportunity there at 107 should price go there. Now that's our losers for the week, and we're just going to head over now to pivotinvestor.com. So pivotinvestor.com allows us to find potential candidates and opportunities for the upcoming week. We're going to run a scan to find stocks. This week we're running a scan to find stocks which are trading above the previous year high. So you saw some examples earlier where stocks fell to hold above the previous year high, and they are sort of tailing off from that level. So here today we're going to see if we can find some stocks which are not only perhaps holding above the previous year high. So selected this previous week's range, looking at the yearly levels, yearly high, low and close for the mid there as well. I'm going to look for stocks which have crossed above the previous year high, 2020 high this week, and holding above. Potentially identify some target areas that we can target, and areas of support that we can look for potential buying opportunities. So as well as this, we call the pivot scanner at pivotinvestor.com. We've got a series of reports as well, price action reports, where you could identify particular price setups like engulfing patterns, reversal wicks, breakouts, amongst many others patterns, which you can select and view the chart books for and browse through charts to find your own setups. But one of my favorites at the end of each week is to do a scan like the one we're doing here to identify stocks at key levels. So here we are. Just going to go over to the detailed view, and we're going to have a look at some of the stocks where there's at least some good trading activity. So typically I look for stocks with at least a trading volume of over a million at least. At least we know that there's potentially going to be some price action at least. And the shaded boxes over here, the shaded boxes represent, if they're blue, they represent where price has crossed through the particular, in this case, previous year high. Prices crossed above that price and also subsequently closed above it. And if it's red, it means price has crossed the, in this case over here, the previous year's close, but failed to close above it, close below that price. So we're looking for the blues. Price is trading above the previous year high. Take a look at AMCI over here. AMCI Acquisition Corp, trending up really nicely over here, currently trading above the R1 monthly pivot. If I switch over to the weekly chart, we can see here this is the previous year's price activity. Had a big strong close towards the end of the year. That's the high for the previous year at 17.16. So last week it found good support at $14 to close near the high there around $15, reaching a high of 16. And this week price just took that high out, went straight for the R1 pivot at $18, even moved higher, $19, but has closed below the R1 yearly pivot over there. But we are trading above the previous year high, which is at around $17, so it has closed above there. So as long as price holds above that yearly high there, $17, get price to hold above there and get another shot at $18, close above $18, opens up a target of 21.2 as an initial target over the next few weeks perhaps. That's AMCI. I'll add that to the watch list. Just go back to the daily chart. As I said, currently trading above the previous year high and above the monthly R1 pivot. So any price action above $18 there could look to at least target $20 this month there, should this momentum continue. If it does go lower and it can't hold, perhaps might give us a test of that low, potentially could be a deep pullback back in there towards 1450 perhaps to continue upwards, but looking strong there, AMCI. Okay, so let's find a couple more perhaps. CPS Technologies. Looks like had a big move there, big range for the week. Trading above the previous year high. No doubt about that. Huge move. Let's see some price action unfold on that one over the next few weeks to understand what we can do with that one. Clean Spark, $40. I remember when this was $10 a few months back. Huge move back there. So a big December. Started off this year with a bit of a bang as well. Just shy of the R2 monthly pivot there. Price has tailed off a little, but it does look good. Potentially we have a potential buying opportunity here at this price, $31 and $31. See how price unfolds there to potentially give us a shot back at 36 and 43 targets for the month potentially. Just flick over here to the weekly chart. You can see last week tested the R1 at $40, failed to close above it. This week we went a bit lower. So we'll see how price action unfolds. Ideally stays above this low of $30. If it does breach that, potentially have a bit of a retracement here, perhaps even as far down as $20. But so that $30 level is key there. From a monthly perspective, yeah, $23 perhaps higher. But this level looks good over here at the moment, $31. So another one, perhaps add to our watch list. We'll do one more perhaps. EVGN. EVGN over here trading above 1, 2, 3, trading above 3-year highs at the moment. So good solid price performance this week. Just tailing off from the R1 yearly pivot there, 688. Get above 688. We've got a target of $9 at least, perhaps over the next few weeks or so. No reason there why this uptrend should slow down for us. On the daily chart over here, price trending just couldn't quite make a close. It looks above R1 there, just above $6.15. So a key point over here. Tails off perhaps to 5.5 before moving up higher, maybe. But any close above 6.15, 7, at least for the month, at least 7.5. But over the next few weeks, you can get to $9 potentially. Another one to potentially watch. So a number of candidates here that we could analyze potentially. So there's 3 potentially to watch. This scanner is available for free at no cost when you sign up for a trial. Signing up for a trial is pretty straightforward. Just visit pivotinvestor.com, and you'll have access there as well to the scanner, to the chart books. I mentioned you can search for particular setups, price action setups. You can browse through chart books and also have access to reports. A number of price action reports there. you can download into Excel and apply your filters, etc. Or you've just seen the scanner as well. Now to sign up for a free trial, free 7-day trial, simply go to pivotinvestor.com. You've got this on the top right hand side, try for free. Select your membership type and just select here the free 7-day trial, and then just follow the next steps. And that some frequently asked questions there that you might have, but nothing to lose. Select free 7-day trial, no payment details are needed, and give us a try. And if there's any questions or we can be of any assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. So with that, I would like to thank you for your time, for taking the time to sit in and listen with us, the weekly market roundup for the US edition. We hope to see you again next week. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy trading.